Everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you again with another WandaVision review, everybody. That's right, it's Friday. It's WandaVision Day, everybody. We got episode 7, everybody. We got 2 more episodes left. Episode 8 and episode 9, everybody. That is right. And there was some stuff online saying that these last 3 episodes were going to be an hour long. Well, that turned out not to be true because this episode was... The runtime was 37 minutes and some seconds. So, and once the credits start rolling, we're about 31 minutes in. So, I don't know who put that on the internet, but you were wrong, obviously. So, who knows? I'm guessing the last episode's probably going to be an hour long almost, but these other ones probably won't be. So, like always in these episodes, we have an episode that is based on a era of a sitcom TV show. And this one takes that formula from Modern Family, which is a pretty recent sitcom TV show. So that is kind of where this episode is, like, just the general feel of this episode is the Modern Family-esque type sitcom type show that we're all kind of used to nowadays. So it's kind of cool to see something a little modern them take place in. So it's just kind of cool. I did notice one thing. The boys in this episode were playing a Wii. They had Wiimotes in their hands, so that kind of gives you an idea of the time frame of, like, because the Nintendo Wii came out in 2006, so this could have, taken place in the 2000s, the later 2000s, I guess you could say, all the way up to maybe 2010. So Wanda is starting to lose her shit. She's really starting to lose her shit. She's losing control of the Hex. Totally losing control. Shit is changing back to like the 70s and the 50s. She can't control it, and she tries fixing it, and then 5 minutes later it goes right back to, like, the house starts to, like, disappear in places. Like, she's losing control of the Hex. She's really starting to lose it. Like, she's going cuckoo banana, because Modern Family, they do that whole interview style where they're sitting in front of a camera, and they do a lot of that with Wanda in this episode. So, and yeah, she's losing it, man. And at one point, the director sitting in the chair that's talking to her actually speaks back to her, and she's like, "You're not supposed to talk back to me. Why are you talking to me?" And it's just that it's one of those little things that happens in this show that things get kind of weird and eerie when those little things happen, when Wanda sees something out of normal that she's not controlling. The show gets all weird and shit, so it's just crazy. And then we have Vision, wakes up on the grass because of what happened to him in the last episode, and Wanda expanded the Hex, took over the entire sword facility that they had set up outside of this thing, and it turned into a circus. So he wakes up right outside of this circus now, because everybody that was in there is now a part of the circus inside of the Hex, and Darcy is also in there. So, and when we find her, she's chained up to a truck because she's a part of the circus now, and he tries to convince her at first of who she is, and she was trying to help him, and they were talking outside of the Hex, and she's just like thinking he's a creep, trying to hit on her and get a date and stuff, because they're calling him a clown, and they're all like, "Wow, you're already in makeup and everything." So, and he finally snaps her out of it. He does, the thing where he touches their foreheads, and she wakes up, and then they basically get in this van, this circus van looking thing, and they basically drive down a road for the rest of the episode, and they're talking, and like Darcy kind of fills Vision in on what has been happening and what happened to him, because he doesn't know, he has no idea, and she just basically told him that she doesn't really understand why he can't leave the Hex. It's like the one thing that's really boggling her mind. She's like, "I don't understand that." Because the sword director we found out his big secret that we talked about in the last episode, he wants to reactivate Vision. That's why they had his body, because they were trying to power him up and they want to use him. So that's not good. No. So Darcy and them are trying to prevent that, or at least Darcy is, because she's the one that figured it out. So these two are basically in this van driving down a road. Like, they keep getting stopped. Like this stoplight appears, and then they have to fix it. And then there's some kids crossing the road. Like they're in this van this entire episode, except for Vision leaves it at one point, flies off, and then we don't see him again. But that there wasn't too much left of the episode. So, and then we got Monica Rambeau and Jimmy Woo. Everybody, that is right. So Monica decides she's gonna take this this rover, like space rover vehicle that she got from a military lady that worked with her mom back before she passed away, and she decides she's going to put on this spacesuit and she's going to try and get into Hex. And we get this scene with this Land Rover trying to drive through the Hex, and it doesn't work. It just does not work, and she has to jump out, and it shoots the Land Rover back, and like a quarter of it is like this old truck. So, because when you put stuff in the Hex, it changes. So, and then she just looks at him and decides, and Jimmy Woo's like, don't do it, Monica, don't do it. She's like, I can get through, and she forces her way through. We get to see her struggle going into the Hex, trying to get through. But in the process of this, because they've been talking about how it's changed her like molecular structure and everything, we get to see Monica get her powers that she has in the comic books. Like, we totally get to see that, and I can't wait to see if they give her a costume that's pretty traditional to her comic book lore and everything. We actually get to see her use her powers a little bit also, which I thought was really cool. Against Wanda, actually. Like, she didn't use them literally against Wanda, but she used them to protect herself and help herself when her and Wanda had this very tense interaction outside of their house, because Monica's trying to talk to Wanda and wake her ass up and be like, just wake up, Wanda. Like, she's trying to help her. She really is. But, of course, Agnes showed up to interrupt that. And that's where this episode took a turn. Because, honestly, until this happened, I honestly felt like this was probably the one filler episode that we've had so far. Not that that's a bad thing. Like, the episode was still good. But I feel like this episode, out of all the episodes, felt like a filler. Like, it wasn't really moving the plot along that much until literally the very end. Like, the last, 5 minutes of the episode. They go to Agnes's house because she took the boys to watch the boys to give mommy a break. And she sits on the couch. Wanda sits on the couch in her house. And she's like, where are the boys? Like, because there's evidence of them being there, but she's like, where are the boys? And Agnes is like, oh, they're probably down in the basement. Her weird, quirky character that she is. So Wanda goes down in the basement, and she discovers something down in Agnes's house. And it is not normal. That's all I have to say. And I think we finally may have learned who is behind some of this. And she might not be the person literally behind it, because I think I might have an idea who that might be. But I think she's most definitely involved. And she is Agatha Harkness, everybody. That is correct. Agatha Harkness. And they show a montage of her through the eras, like, messing with shit through all the episodes this whole time. She's kind of been the one that's been messing with shit, because she's a magical being just like Wanda. Like, she has powers like Wanda. Crazy shit, you guys. Agatha Harkness. Holy hell. So, Agatha Harkness is this villainous, insidious character that is part of Wanda's comic book lore, that has been in her life through the comic books through the years, and just been a pain in the ass to Wanda through the years in the comic books. So, they're continuing that on in this TV show, and I am loving it. I was like, holy shit. And then we also had an end credit scene where Monica is trying to get down in the basement, actually. I don't know I think it's Vision and Wanda's house she's trying to get into the basement of. And then Pietro Quicksilver shows up right behind her and says, oh, are you snooping around? And that was the only time that we saw him. So, which in the episode, Wanda actually said, that's not your uncle. Like, she flat out was like, that's not your uncle. Like, she's done with him. So I think Oh, Agnes, or Agatha Harkness, everybody. She's the one that actually put him there. They showed that, actually. The episode where they showed him when she opened the door and he was standing there, that was totally Agatha. So, she's the one that's been doing a lot of the shit behind the scenes. So, I don't know if she's the total, like the actual person behind everything, but she's most definitely the one that's on the forefront messing with shit, everybody. So, like I said, this episode was good. It was another great episode. I did honestly feel like this was the first filler episode that we got in the show, and for it being 9 episodes long and we're on episode 7 and I feel that way now, that's not bad. A lot of TV shows have a lot of filler episodes. So the show's great still, you guys. It's still awesome. Like I said, I'm not going to give this a score until it's over with and do a series overview. So, alright everybody, hope you guys enjoyed that spoiler-filled damn review of WandaVision episode 7. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll be catching you on tube later because I have spoken.